What's going on, guys? P-Will back here for another video. In this video, I got a really good question on my Instagram DMs, If you're not following me on Instagram, you can go ahead and follow me right here, Instagram, @RealPWill. Throw my Snapchat up there as well, and if you're new here, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. Got a good question on my Instagram regarding why soldiers get out of the Army, and I answered that question, but I thought, this would be a fantastic video idea to share with all of you. Before I get into it, these are not like specifically my reasons why I have decided to get out of the military. There's a lot of different reasons out there why people get out of the military, decide to, when their terms of service are over, to get out. These are not specifically mine. These are just what I have seen, from my experience, why people get out of the military. So let's get right into it. I also want to preface that it's okay to get out of the military. It's not like, oh, you're a bad soldier, blah, 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 if you get out of the military. Everybody's gonna get out of the Army eventually, so this is, it's okay. Number one, why I see a lot of soldiers get out, it's gonna sound kind of funny, but it's just because of PT. A lot of people don't like getting up at, before the sun comes up and go work out, and that's okay. For me, my PT at my unit right now starts at 6:15, so I have to get up at 5:30 every morning to get up and to be at PT on time. I know while I was in TRADOC, a specific, like basic training, now it sucks because obviously it's basic training. PT started at 5, so we had to get up at, lights on was at 4:30. And AIT, my PT was at 5:30, so I had to get up at about 5. I could theoretically get up at like 5:10 if I wanted to be in a rush, but I like to take my time in the mornings. But it's not just like, yes, getting up in the morning sucks, but a lot of time, like especially at Fort Riley in the mornings, it's cold, it's windy, it sucks. Like sometimes it can be 15, 20, 25 degrees with a wind chill, making it feel like, 10 degrees. The wind is fierce here, so it can be cold, you're tired. It's just a kind of a sucky process. And you're just standing there, a little while before PT starts. A lot of people get out because PT is so early in the morning, it's cold or it's really hot or it's raining. It just can be a sucky experience, so a lot of soldiers get out because of PT. Number two is, a lot of soldiers just have other life goals. They never intended on staying in the military long term. I'm gonna do my 4 years, serve honorably, serve my country, get out, go to school, I've got this job lined up, whatever it may be. A lot of soldiers just never intend to stay in the Army long term. I would say like 80% of soldiers get out, I think, or maybe it's like 70% get out after their first contract, and only like 10 or 20% ever even make it to retirement. So most people are going to get out of the military before retirement. They just have other things they want to do with their life, and that's okay. Number three is people can get burnt out. Soldiers can get burnt out. The military life is tough. There are long days sometimes. There's certain restrictions on your lifestyle. Sometimes you don't know your schedule. The Army takes a lot of steps to prevent some of these things, giving soldiers liberties, giving soldiers MWR, morale, welfare and recreation facilities, tries to create plan out training schedules so soldiers have some predictability. But that just comes a part of being in the Army, the military lifestyle. Long days, sometimes you're working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. That's just part of it, and some soldiers just get burnt out from that, and they can't see themselves making it to 20 or 25 years. And they just decide to get out and have fun while they're in, but get out. Number four is family. The military can be really tough on family life in certain situations and in certain times of your military career. Like I said, you're working long days. That can be a lot of time away from family. If you live off base, say you live like 20-25 minutes away from base, and you don't feel like driving home from PT back home and then back to work just to shower and change. So you're getting up at 5:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, probably before your kids are even up, and then you won't see them all day because you're not going to drive back from PT. So if you get off on an early day, 4 o'clock, you're home by 4:30. You go to bed, like if you want to get your 8 hours of sleep, if you get up at 5, you're going to be in the bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock. So that gives you like 3 to 4 hours to spend with your family every day, and that can be tough on people. Now that's not just specific to military life. There's a lot of jobs like that, but it does happen in the military, and a lot of people feel like they can't spend enough time with their family. Obviously, you're going to go on deployments. You might be gone for 8-9 months, out of the year sometimes. You're going to go to the field, and it's going to be like a mini deployment. You're gone, maybe from anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks and not seeing your family. It's just tough. It can be tough for a soldier on your family life, and a lot of people decide, I want, my family is more important than my long-term Army career at this point, and they get out because of their family life. Number five is kind of along the same lines. It's travel. Now, obviously, travel in the sense of you're going to deploy, you're going to go on TDY, you're going to go different places, and that can be hard. You're going to be away from your family once again. But the bigger thing I was getting at is like PCSing, permanent change of station. change of station. Now you can extend and stay, but I would say the average time people are at their military duty station is 3 to 4 years. Two on the short end, 2 to 4 to 5. I know some people have been here for 5 years, and that's good. But it's hard to establish roots in one community because you go, obviously basic training, you're in one state, and then you go to AIT, more than likely you're in another state, and then you get your first duty station, and then 2 to 4 years after that, you're moving again. And while you're at your next duty station, you deploy, so you're not even there for a year. And then 3 years later, you're moving again. It's not like your typical American. You grew up in this town, maybe you move, a couple towns over, and you're there for the rest of your life. You know everybody knows each other. Your kids went to the same school you did. Stuff like that, a generic family life. Not everybody's like that. But some people just don't thrive under the environment of moving around all the time. They want to establish roots. They want to have friends in their location for, the rest of their life. And the military is not conducive to that. You're going to move, anywhere from 3 to 7 to 8 times in your military career. So yes, it's tough to establish roots in a certain location, and that's why a lot of people decide to get out and end their service. And number 6 is kind of just a conglomeration. It's military life. It's a combination of, travel, not seeing your family. You just can't do the military life. You don't like getting up early, like at 6 or 5:30. All of this comes together, and you're just burnt out. You're just mentally tired, and you decide to get out. I like things in the military, and I can deal with certain things, but it's just the combination of this military lifestyle. I can do it right now, like the person might be saying, I can do it right now, but I cannot see myself doing it forever, doing it for long term. So they decide, when this contract is over, I am getting out. The cons outweigh the pros, and for that person personally, and they decide to get out because military lifestyle is just not for them, and that's okay. Those are 6 reasons why people decide to get out. There are tons of others. There's nothing wrong with getting out. Most people will get out of the military at some point. I hope this video helped you out. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like the video if it helped you out, gave you some insight. Come on over to my social medias if you want to ask a question that you don't feel comfortable asking in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.